Before I realized, they called the police.
I thought you were supposed to pay a fine.
I didn't pay any fine.
But why would they call the police?
The police came in. They took me to their place. Started questioning me. That day, that's when I realized that when you become a criminal, how they treat you. They put you in a certain chair, put you lock your hands, lock your legs.
Why like that, Odajemu? Welcome back to my channel. Very soon, I'm going to be introducing my guest to share his experiences in China. If it's something you like to watch, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hi!
Hi!
Welcome to my channel.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Okay, I'm happy you came.
Yeah.
Okay, do you mind introducing yourself to us?
Okay, so my name is Matthias. Okay. Matthias Yeboah, but popularly known as King Max.
Okay.
China, and I'm a student, a graduate student, PhD student in civil engineering in one of the universities in China.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'm from Ghana.
Ghana. Okay. Akwaba.
Yeah.
Oh, now they say Obake.
Obake.
Yes. Okay. So why China?
Why China? Interesting question. Well, so back home I was a teaching assistant in one of the universities, and it's required that I needed to, upgrade my credential before I could become a full-time lecturer in the university. So first I did my master's in one of the universities in China. Then currently I'm doing my PhD. So basically that's what actually brought me to China to finish up my studies and then go back and then continue my I love lecturing, I love to teach, so that is a field that I really want to be.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you plan to go back to Ghana, unlike others?
Well, not necessarily Ghana per se, but anywhere that my service will be needed as a teacher. I'm not just looking at Ghana, but on a global scale, teachers are needed globally. Yeah. And that is teaching, and I have other passion or other things that I also do business wise. Yeah, that also I would say is very interesting.
Okay. So was coming to China the first time you ever left the shores of Ghana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first time. Yeah.
Okay. How was the feeling like leaving Ghana to another country?
The feeling, well. So actually, before coming to China, I did a background search. I did some readings about China, what they are doing, Yeah, so for me, I didn't really feel anything that much because I've read a bit about it. So when I was coming, I wasn't really surprised with the kind of thing that, even though sensitivities are quite surprising, but then it was okay. The feeling was okay, I should say. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any expectations?
Yeah, I had an expectation when I was coming to China. Then my cousin was an agent. Right? So I was sitting here, and one day he called me. Was like, there's an opportunity in China to further. Actually, I was going to. My initial plan was to go to tech to further my master's and further to PhD so that I could become a lecturer. But then when the China opportunity came, I'm like, okay, let me just take it. But then he also added that I can work. Yeah, so whilst I'm schooling, so I was expecting that when I come, I will be working at the same time schooling. Yeah, true to it. When I came, he was working with someone here. So when I came, I spoke to that guy. And I came in 2019. Yeah, so he was like, I spoke to that guy that, okay, I'm here, what's up with the work and all that. He was like, I just came, so let me finish my studies. Right, so, let me finish my, when you do the classroom work and the rest is more lab work and all that. So let me finish my classroom work and all that. But then, when I finished, that was somewhere in December thereabouts, and I tried reaching out to him. We're just doing, not really willing to, to help me and all that. Yeah, so that was it. I was expecting to work, but then it didn't happen as I anticipated. Yeah.
No, okay. What kind of work?
Teaching.
Teaching. Okay.
Yeah. But then I didn't know teaching was kind of illegal if you are a student. Yeah. Okay. But later I got to find out that it is illegal to work and school at the same time. Yeah.
Okay. So you left Ghana. You arrived in China.
Right.
Was China what you expected it to be?
Good. Yeah, so like I said earlier, I did my research, right? Yeah, I told you earlier I did my research. So I wasn't so shocked with the structures that I was seeing, but what really gave me a bit of shock was the language. I was hoping at least I could find one or two people who actually speak English. Yeah, spoke English, but then there was no one like that. I remember holding my brochure. The school gave us the admission form. So that's what I was carrying around, showing people those nearby. Okay, I'm going to this place. I'm going to this place, and all that. Yeah. So that was what I was a bit surprised about. But in terms of the structures and everything, I did my research before coming, so I wasn't that surprised with that.
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned you were initially in another school where you did your masters.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing with us the name of the school?
I'm University of Science and Technology.
Okay. And what did you study there?
I studied masters in civil engineering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So currently I'm doing my
PhD in civil engineering.
Yeah.
Okay. You came in 2019.
Right.
And then almighty COVID happened.
Right.
Okay. How was your experience during the COVID?
Just imagine, I came in November. I came very late. Even though I got admission earlier, but I came very late. Then December, boom, COVID. So I didn't really, when the COVID happened, at a point I nearly went home, but I was like, we just came. We just came. So like, why the rush to go home when we just came on that? And all that. Let's just give it a bit of time. So some of my colleagues that were here earlier, most of them went home, but they were like, we just came, so we should just be here for some time. And then so many experiences when it comes to COVID. In fact, I clearly remember most of us, we actually turned the day upside down. We slept daytime and we're very active in the night because we're not going anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, and for some of us, it pushed us to learn so many things. In terms of cooking, that's where we learn how to prepare certain foods. And even, my school had a criteria, you need to publish some papers and all that. So it also pushed, because you're not going anywhere, it's just, so you needed to find something doing. So that's where we also learn how to publish papers and all that. Yeah, so for me, that was it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned earlier that you had an agent friend here, and I assume that wasn't family. But how was it like not to have family around during that COVID period?
Well, COVID time, I got a lot of calls from home, checking almost every time on how you're doing and all that. But then one thing I would say that the Ghanaian community is very, very lovely. But then the emergence of Nooks was very active there and all that. Yeah, so we had this community, a Ghanaian community. Apart from the Nooks, we had a Ghanaian community. Yeah, so we're really communicating among ourselves almost every time, checking on ourselves. And normally, like I said earlier, we're very active in the night. So in the night, boys will come together, chit chat, talk, share ideas, and all that. So it wasn't, even though family was far away, but the community, the Ghanaian community here was very, very active. And I think that was one thing that really kept us going.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one thing that kept us going.
Okay. And I guess there were lots of international students in your school, right?
Yeah.
So what was the relationship like? I know that in Ghana you may have met people from other countries, but then it's not as, when you arrived here in China where you see, a lot of, different people from different countries, even countries you've never heard off.
Yeah.
Yes. So how was your relationship with them?
Very, very good. In fact, before coming, I was even checking on one of my guys from Rwanda. Yeah. So for me, it was very, very okay. I had no issues mingling with people from other nationalities. In fact, by then my roommate was even from Asia, Bangladesh.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had no issue. I was very open to accepting people, their culture, and learning from them as well. Yeah, so I had a good relation with them. But then we're privy to lead certain organizations, so we had people from different walks of life also in there. So for me, it wasn't a problem at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned earlier that the language barrier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess your course was in English.
Yeah, English,
okay. Yeah, and I know with the Chinese, when it comes to the English, although sometimes they say
Chinglish.
They say they speak English, but we all know they are kind of English. How did you, cope with that kind of English? I'm asking this because I also studied here in China.
Right.
And even though, like I said, they spoke English, sometimes I found it difficult to understand them. Okay. And you also mentioned you used to go to the lab and all other things, right? I also used to go to the lab at a point. And I remember even the equipment there were also in Chinese.
Right.
So, how were you doing it?
Okay, so I totally remember the first week, when I came the first week, I went to class and I couldn't understand what they were speaking. So I have to ask my friend, like, what are they, what is he saying? He said they're speaking English. I'm like, are you sure it's English? But I don't really understand what they are saying, So it took me time to actually adjust their way of communicating. And, I must say this, that one thing about China is that if you're not careful before you leave, you can actually be very bad at speaking English.
Yeah.
The reason being that because of how they communicate, it's not really like fluent like how we communicate. They leave out some of the words from it and all that. Yeah. So eventually we started communicating the way they communicate in order to for them to get what we're saying. So I think that was one of the challenges. But I think one other thing that also helped was we have translators. Yeah, we had translators. I think now we still do have the translators. So we do translate. Imagine, for me, my professor spoke English, but some of the guys know English, so communication was really a big problem. Yeah, so that was one of the things. But we personally, my professor was able to communicate very well with me in English, so it wasn't that much of a problem. But with the Chinese, those Chinese guys, they didn't speak English, and their English is very, very low. So we use more translation. Yeah, so that was what kept us going, translating. And I think we learned a few things, like how to buy something if you're going to the supermarket, if you're going to the canteen, those kind of daily transactional languages. We learn them,
Okay.
Yeah, I personally learned them, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So after masters, you continue to do PhD.
Right.
Why China again?
Okay. So, like I said earlier, I had a plan, and my plan is when I finish, I want to be in the academia, right? So, before that, I've been in. Like I said, I was a TA from here. So when I finished my master's, I wanted to work for some time before still going back to to do research and all that. Yeah, but China, the job is very, very scanty for foreigners and all that. Yeah. So then I was like, okay, then let me continue. I actually applied to. I actually had a number of schools that I applied to when I finished, both outside and here. Even here, I had two universities. One was in Xinyang and one in Nanjing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was like, Nanjing is closer, so let me stay here. So I just wanted to finish up with my studies. Yeah, so that's why I still chose China. I actually did a research on some of the best schools, engineering schools within. Yeah, and I realized that Puha is one of the top schools. Yeah, so that's how come I said, okay, let me just still do it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And still on the language, how good is your
my
Chinese?
Like they would say, Mama Huhu. I wouldn't say my Chinese is so fluent, and it is one thing that I would say I regret of, not being so fluent in Chinese, because there are so many opportunities that came, and one of the basic requirements was to speak Chinese very fluently. Yeah, but my Chinese is not, I wouldn't say it's that perfect, but it's just basic. Yeah, but there's one thing that I really want to perfect it. Yeah, so definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not too late.
No, not too late. I will, because I remember when I finished school, even though, China, one thing about China is that if you're not careful, China will turn everybody into the classroom. Regardless of your choosing field, whether you're a medical doctor, you could end up in the classroom. If you're an engineer, you could end up in the classroom because of how your system is. Yeah. So I had opportunity to of some works here and there and all that, but their basic requirement
Chinese
was Chinese. Even before the degree, the basic requirement was Chinese. My Chinese wasn't that perfect then, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite Chinese food?
My favorite Chinese food. Ooh. Malashango?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
You heard of it?
I don't really like Chinese food.
You don't really like Chinese food?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So when I first came, I was very skeptical of the Chinese food. I was skeptical not to go and eat foods like. Then I didn't like pork. I didn't like what's the name? Frog. Yeah, so I was very skeptical of their food and all that. But then with time, I became used to eating Chinese food. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I don't have problem eating Chinese food at all.
Yeah, for me, I'm scared to try something.
Why are you scared of Chinese food?
I'm very picky when it comes to food in general. Yeah, so even with some Ghanaian foods, I don't know what will make me eat those foods. Yeah, I'm very picky when it comes to food. Yeah,
I'm not really a foodie, so when it comes to food, just a little, I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. So earlier when you mentioned you were you did your masters in Anhui and now you're in Nanjing.
Yeah.
Aside these two cities, have you traveled around China?
Oh, a lot. I've traveled to a lot of cities. Yeah, I've traveled to Guangzhou, Beijing, Wuhan, Nanton. Where else again? Suzhou. I've traveled.
Okay. Are there any differences, any similarities between these cities?
Yeah, I think that's one thing China has really done well with in terms of how they be able to replicate whatever you see here. If you travel around China, you basically see almost the same thing. Very, very similar in terms of structures. If you go to Yiwu, very Guangzhou. Yeah, the differences I would say is in the cost of living that differs a bit. Like a place like Shanghai, maybe if you go to maybe certain parts of Anhui, it's low. Yeah, so that's what I would say about it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think there are any differences or similarities between education in Ghana and then education here in China?
In terms of
everything.
Of course, very different. Having schooled here for some time now, China have the facilities. They do have the research facilities. No two ways about that. But then, not to downgrade our education system. It is there, but I think we can do better because we don't really. Some of the universities don't really have the infrastructures. Right, and then if you look at the Chinese system of education, right from infancy, the parent, invest so much into the kid. Recently, I was talking to a friend about the average cost, and it's quite huge. But in Ghana, we don't really see that kind of that. But here, the government kind of make it in a way that, right from the very beginning, you get the you get that kind of education. So I think as much as our education system, Ghana education system is good, I think we can reform it, and one of the things that we can do is to tailor it to societal problems, the problem that we face in our society, you learn about it in school, and when you come, it's very easy. Yeah, because in most cases, most people learn in school, but when they come out, that's not even what they're practicing. Some way different from it and all that. Survivor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know people who did Greek, first degree, masters, and then they end up doing something else.
Yeah, very possible. Very possible.
Yeah. Any similarities?
Similarities. Similarities. It's been a while. Yeah, but the similarities I would say is what similarities do we have? Is it from the university level or like from
university level?
University level.
Where you have, the experience.
The experience. Yeah, that's well, as a TA, what I would say is very, very similar is, I would say, okay, let me use my field as an example. Some of the courses that we do, they also do same here. Even though there's a bit of differences, but basically some of the courses that we do, like maybe structures, geotechnical, you still find them they also doing, and I think most of our professors are very learned. So some of the research that we do carry out here, they do also carry it back home. But the problem is, we don't have much laboratories. I think that is it. But China has a lot of labs. So our place, some of them are more theory. Yeah, but I'll say those are the similarities that we do have with the China education system.
I think going back to what you said earlier, I believe because we do not have a lot of the labs or the equipment, I think that's why people end up not applying whatever they studied in school. Yeah, so I think that's
true.
True. Have you ever had any bad experiences here in China?
Bad experiences?
Yeah. Do you mind sharing a few?
One experience that really put my spirit down, even though I'm not the type that will really go down, but then that really, I'll say it's a bad experience when I was treated like a criminal, I had my visa expired in a day, and it wasn't even like my fault. That's why it got expired. When I was first, they had a very strict policy that before you even renew your visa, you need to do your medicals. It's mandatory, you need to do. So I went for a document from the school. They're like, oh, I need to do my medicals before. But the visa was almost expiring. Okay, so I went to the hospital for the medicals. And because of the time, I went early. So they're like, oh, I should come on Monday. But Monday, my visa would have expired a day. So even though I did it, the results came on Monday. So Monday was visa expired one day. You're staying here illegal. So I got my documents and I went to the immigration, and the woman was just going through my document. Then all of a sudden she started talking plenty. I didn't understand what she was saying. Talking, said, hold on, put the document aside. Before I realized, they called the police.
I thought you were supposed to pay a fine.
No, I didn't pay any fine.
But why would they call the police?
They called the police.
On a normal day, if your visa expires, you're supposed to pay a fine.
I didn't pay any fine. They called the police. The police came in. They took me to their place. Started questioning me. That day, that's when I realized that when you become a criminal, how they treat you. They put you in a certain chair, put you, like lock your hands, lock your legs. I was a bit surprised. So I translated to the man, like, did I do something wrong? Like, did I do anything? You're like, oh, nothing. They're just following process. Process. Okay, no problem. They questioned me, so many questions here and there. When was the last time I traveled and all that? Aside that, they took my blood sample, they took my voice, took my, you know that, I've forgotten the name of that thing. That thing that you stand on when people are criminally take them pictures, That scale, I stood on that, they took me pictures and all that. So I was very surprised, like going through all those processes just because my visa expired for 1 day. So they did all that, and after that, I stood with them, they took a picture, and then they drove me back to the immigration to continue what to get my payment. So that was one experience that I was really sad. I was really sad. The experiences, there are many. Another experience, and sometimes those are some of the things that if you're not careful, it will just break your spirit. Because I remember I went to a place and I was supposed to log in to get a hotel, right? And they're like, they don't accept foreigners here. But if you don't accept foreigners here, why do you have to let me book online before coming?
Yeah, because you use your passport.
I use my passport and everything. They're like, nah, you don't. So if you see, during those times, you're not very patient, you will be very angry and cause a stir and it will escalate and a whole other problem. So those are some of the experiences that I've had in China here.
Okay.
But with time, you get to understand the system.
On the visa issue, I'm very sorry about that.
Okay.
And then, but I also realized something about China, right? So it's the order of the day, or whoever you meet. Okay. I've always known this. You just pray that the first person you meet should be a good person. I'm saying this because I've been in China for 11 years now.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
wonderful.
Yes. So there are times, like you said, the immigration or wherever you go, sometimes the bank, the hospital, wherever, right? Whoever you meet first, if they treat you bad, it's going to continue. Okay. Well, I don't want to say it's just China. I think it's everywhere. Okay. So I've had experiences where I've been to the immigration or I've been to the bank, and then the first person I met, didn't want to attend to me at all, and then it was a different thing altogether. And then I've been to these same places again, and the first person I met was a good person. And so everything went on smoothly. Okay. So I think in your case, it was that person you met who was, bad to you. That's what I want to say, because I know on a normal day, if your visa expires and if you were a criminal, you wouldn't have even gone to the immigration in the first place.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, but the fact that you went to the immigration, I know that when your visa expires, there's a fine you have to pay. I think 500 a day.
500,
so that should have been it.
Well, I would say policies differ. Some of the policies differ by province. Nigeria here, that's what I noticed. That per day, that's how they pay. But in certain places, maybe it's different. So.
But then, for you to have been treated as such, it's extreme.
Welcome to China. Not to say that is, not to say that all of them are like. In fact, I really met some really nice.
We are going to come to the good
people
experiences. So away from the bad experiences, what are some of your, the good experiences you've had in China?
Of course, I've had quite a number of good experience. I met. Sometimes it's good to keep your identity. Those days it was very difficult. Now I don't do them anymore. But those days it's very difficult to work if you were from certain countries, in quotes, right? So I remember meeting one guy. The guy also liked me, but he wanted a t-shirt. So then I was like, oh, I'm from South Africa, right? That's what I said. So and all that. But away from that, I realized how the guy was. He was very good to me and all that. So I needed to tell him right away that okay, I'm not from South Africa. I'm from this is where I'm from. I'm from Ghana and all that. So I became very close to the guy. He has introduced me to all his family members, every family member. So I had all his family members. When they have this festivities that they normally do in is it February or their New Year.
Yeah.
And the whole family will gather and all that. I was right there. So it became like a home to me and all that. At a point, even the mom was like, if I study Chinese very well, she'll just open a business for me and then I'll just stay here.
Yeah.
And that's it, because they became so good to me. So I would say that was one of the good experiences that I had in China. And my professor too was really good to me. We communicated. There was nothing like China, some people do have issues with their professors and all that. So that was my former school. So I really had a good relation. Even till now, I still have a very good relation with him. So those are some of the good experiences that I did experience. In my former school. And coming to Nanjing too, I met quite good people around and all that. But now, because of how when you stay in China for a while, I don't know what that happened to you before. Sometimes you stay inside for so long that when you come out, you're like, oh, I'm in China. Like, you're like, oh, you're seeing Chinese moving around and all that. But there are times you just stay inside and it's like, I'm online a lot, right? I do forex trading, right?
Yeah.
So I'm mostly online, figuring things out. Sometimes you even forget
your surroundings,
the outside world and all that. Yeah, so I've met quite really nice people around, exploring around China and all that. Yeah.
Guys, so he mentioned the good experiences he had and then the bad experiences. So China is like any other country, okay? Even he as a Ghanaian in Ghana, he's had bad experiences, okay? You can't have it all, okay? So please, those people who will not watch the video to the end and start commenting, please, hold on. Hold on. Watch the video to the end. He said a lot of good things about China. And mind you, he's done his master's and he's doing his PhD here. If China was as bad as some of you think it is, he wouldn't be here, okay? Okay, away from that, any cultural shocks?
Hey! No, like, what shocked me, I think even now, maybe in the bigger cities, it's not really there that much, but in those cities that are not so big, I think Nigeria, I don't see it so often. But in my former city, the way they'll put camera on you when you are passing.
It happens here in Nigeria.
Well, I don't normally say it.
Really? I'm always fighting them.
I was like, why? Like, you can't be free. You're walking and they will just take your phone. They only take
I won't allow it.
So
with me, it's two things. Either I will make you delete it, or I'll also take a picture of you. Yes. People have tried so many times to stop me, but I feel like I don't like it. Just ask me, and I'll allow you to do it. But they do it in such a way that they are going to use your pictures for bad stuff. Okay, they make it so obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is why I also go after them. Yes. So me, you do me, I do you.
Well, for me, at the point, sometimes I just have to understand this people from their perspective. So that was one of the things that really shocked me. Like you just want to take somebody a picture just like that. Why? At least ask me if you want. If I want, then I can allow. Okay, you can take a picture and all that. So I would say that was one of the very things that really. Really shook me when I first came, but it gets to a point I became used to their way of doing things and all that. Yeah. Apart from that, what other cultural shock did I? The one thing that shocked me is that they use how do you call it, chopsticks to eat.
I'm not sure. Well, I wasn't too sure because I knew about it before coming.
Yeah, but they expect us to use.
Yeah, you know.
When you go to certain restaurant, they don't have spoon. They just have that. Yeah, that was then though, but now.
Yeah, used to it.
I'm used to it. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So those are the things. Some of the things that shock me, especially those that will be following you with their foreigner. They just want to take your picture.
Or
Hearing. That word hearing. Once they see you are black, it's not every black person that is from Africa, you know. But then once you are black, they think that okay, you are from Africa and all that. So they just want to take a picture of you, and sometimes it's very annoying. Honestly, it's very very annoying. And another thing that shocked me is how they speak around.
Yeah.
How they speak around. They just make certain sound and. It is really, sometimes you go to an eatery place, you are eating and they'll do those kind of sounds. It's very, very disgusting. Yeah. Very disgusting. Yeah. That was one other thing too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, you mentioned earlier that at a point you used to hide your identity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember when I first came, I used to hear people say, like, you know, that this person is from Ghana, this person is from Rwanda, and then they'll tell you they're from US when they go and all those things. So I used to do the same, right? And then one time I went to Shenyang.
Okay.
I met this Chinese family. I think I was lost. My brother was in Shenyang.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I left his home to town to for sightseeing. And then I got lost. I didn't know my way around. Then I met this Chinese family. So I was asking them, and then they were showing me my way around. Okay. And then they asked, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from US, Boston." And then unfortunately for me, that is where this family lives. What? And so they are asking which part of Boston.
Okay.
Since then, when you ask me, I was like, "I'm from Ghana. I don't want any issues." So like I think it was my first year. I just thought, I'm like, people should accept me for who I am.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want this bitch whereby I will say I'm from US and then you ask me which part of US and I know there are some people who are able to learn about certain areas and walk around with it, but not me. Me, I'm from Ghana.
I'm from Ghana.
Yes, I'm from Ghana. Accept me for who I am.
Of course.
Anyway, so if you were to take anything from China to Ghana, what would it be?
Anything like?
Anything.
If I have to take anything from here, well, there are a lot of businesses around that I have seen around. So I remember myself and one friend of mine, there was a business model that we came across. We're like, this thing, if you establish it in Ghana, it's really relevant. So we're thinking of some of the prime areas that you can actually establish. So if anything I would take out of China, I think is business. Yeah, some of the businesses that I discovered here. And one thing that I'm also happy about that I also got to learn here was how to learn forest trading in China whilst I was here. So I think those are the things that I'll take out of China, business-wise. Yeah.
Okay. If you were to leave Ghana, if you were to leave China today, what would you miss about China?
What will I miss about China? Someone will say I've not left, so maybe I wouldn't know what I will miss. But then,
let me help you out. Yeah, so you're coming from a developing country. Well, they say China is developing. Okay. Yeah, but
I get it now.
Yes. So you've seen infrastructure.
Right.
You've seen the train system.
Health system. Right.
Constant electricity. No doom so. Water. Everything.
Right.
What would you miss?
I think basically you've touched on most of the things that I will miss in China, notably their transportation system, very, very convenient. I think China has utilized almost every aspect of transportation, from the air all the way to the land. They utilize it all. So that's one thing I would say I will miss in China. And their healthcare system. Their healthcare system is also very, very, very well improved. I wish back home we could have an advanced, healthcare system like China do. I mean, basically every country should have certain basic necessities, to help the citizens, to help the people, like good roads, electricity, water, good schools, Yeah, so basically those are some of the things that I do miss if I should live today in China, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we've come to the end.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you too for coming. Yeah, I really enjoyed our session together.
I also enjoyed too.
Yeah, okay. Guys, if you enjoyed watching, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.